Joining us now with more CBS Sports NBA Insider Bill Reiter. Bill, we are even at one apiece. Looks to be headed for a fun week and a half plus here between Atlanta and Philly. Your general reactions here coming out of game two and a dominant performance here by Philadelphia.
Yeah, Joe, you just said it. I think my general reaction is a couple. One, this is going to be a hell of a series. As long as Joel Embiid is healthy, and we saw just how ridiculously capable Philly is when he's on the floor, this is going to go 6 or 7 games, in part because I think Atlanta's going to do a good job defending their home court. We saw that against the Knicks. Can't imagine Trae Young's going to have another brutal game like he had tonight. I think 1 of 7 from the three-point line. But give the Hawks, I guess, maybe a little bit of credit. Young team against this Sixers squad that is a lot of folks' favorite to make the finals. And they come out, they get down 17 early, and they're able to punch back, make it a close game, take the lead, ran out of steam. If Embiid's healthy, it's going to be a really interesting series. I don't think the Hawks are going anywhere, even though they got beat down in this game in the final score tonight.
All right, I do want to talk about Trae Young here in a moment, but first we're going to go with the good, and that coming from Joel Embiid. 40 points to follow his 39 in game one. This one does come with a W as well. Obviously, he's got every trick in the book, the physicality, the length, his ability to stretch the court at 7 foot plus. What's impressed you most through 2 games here about Embiid, and he's getting it done, I mean, seemingly on that banged up knee, looking like it's no issue for him right now?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think the ability to get out there and gut it out. We'll see whether or not the knee holds up. Obviously, we hope that it does, but there's a history in the NBA of guys trying to play through this injury and things not going well. Andrew Bynum's an example. So this is a guy, and his teammates know it, who's out there, who's banging, who's getting physical, who probably shouldn't be pushing opposing players in the back, but he's chippy. Like, he is trying to assert himself, and he's been every bit the guy, when he was healthy, that had a real chance at the MVP award that went to Nikola Jokic had he played 65 or 72 games. I mean, we know this, right? Embiid's a top 3 or top 5 player in the league. I think there was some doubt about whether he'd play like that with this injury. He's done it so far. He was awesome in this game. And it comes down to a lot of things. I get it in the NBA playoffs, but a big one is whose player is the best player on the floor. It was Embiid over Trae Young by a mile in this game.
No doubt. Embiid, in the past, he's been pretty clear about the fact that he hears the outside noise and he uses it to his advantage sometimes. Do you think there was a little something extra in this one after not hearing his name called for that MVP, which I know he wanted to get his hands on, but all of the storylines seem to be moving towards Nikola Jokic, and that is the ultimate award. Do you think that maybe Embiid had a little extra chip on his shoulder here on Tuesday night?
Oh, there's no doubt. In the world of NBA Twitter, this guy's the NBA Twitter king. Remember, he tried to court Rihanna, a quest we were all cheering on Twitter. Like, this guy's not shy. And you're right. I mean, it is a competitive league. And I voted for Nikola Jokic. I think Jokic deserved the award. I think had Embiid been healthy for not even all 72 games like Jokic, but a big chunk of games, it would have been a really, really difficult decision. But Embiid doesn't want to hear that. These guys at this level believe they're the best on earth. They have to be to perform at that level. And you're right, Joe. There is no doubt that he's trying to make statements against the actual MVP and Jokic, against the doubters of this Philly team, count myself among them, and against a Hawks team that came in and took game 1 in Philly. All of that is certainly motivation for a pretty visceral player in Joel Embiid.
We have come to move the bar on Trae Young and what we expect from this fledgling star. He misses that bar here on Tuesday night in game 2. Series moving to Atlanta, where he will feel the warmth of the friendly confines of home. But Trae has had an issue in terms of maybe stacking up a couple of these less than stellar performances on top of one another. Do you expect any sort of carryover residual issues for Young as we move into game 3, or do you expect a bounce back performance?
I think it's possible he'll struggle. It's a great point, Joe. It's a great question, because you know that when he can be the best player on the floor and he can live up to the expectations that come with being the face of this franchise. And let's be frank, a guy that was traded for Luka Doncic on draft day. I mean, that is a lot of pressure. When he can live up to that, and we certainly saw that in the Knicks series, this Hawks team is really, really dangerous. But you have to be able to do it night in, night out, especially as you progress through the playoffs and you're obviously playing better teams at every stage if you're able to advance. And I think something to keep an eye on, Ben Simmons is a remarkable defender. He's one of the 2 or 3 best defenders in the game. I think he finished second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. That's where I certainly had him on my ballot. The guy's an amazing perimeter defender. He's also 6'10", and he stifled Trae Young in this game. They're going to have to find ways to make some adjustments to get Trae some more open looks. And when he gets them, because he had a few, the dude has to hit them. I think he's going to have several great games in this series. That's where he's at. But that next step, that next leap in his evolution is being incredible and being consistent again and again and again. It's a lot to ask of a young player, first playoff experience. But if the Hawks want to win this series or any series going forward, that's what he's got to do.
He is Bill Reiter pulling double duty here on CBS Sports HQ. Bill, before we go, blink twice if you were the Derrick Rose first place MVP vote.
No, I wasn't. But apparently people thought so. I got a lot of.
If I had one, he would have had two. Bill, we thank you.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.